I'm Melissa Shanahan, and this is the Velocity Work Podcast, episode number 72. This podcast is for attorneys who are running their own firms. We explore tactics, tools, and stories related to pushing past simply lawyering well and into building a successful firm. Working in your firm and working on your business are two very different things. This podcast focuses on the latter. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode. As you are listening to this, if it's in real time, I can officially say my team and I are done for the year. We worked really hard and we got everything tied up with a bow so that we could take some space before 2021. And 2021 is a big year for us. We have things really dialed in at this point for clients. We know we have a game plan that's very strong. There's predictability in the business at this stage in the game that wasn't necessarily the case a year ago. I mean, shoot, 1 year ago, I was very pregnant. I had my son on January 11th of 2020. So I was very pregnant. I was prepping so that I could really take the space I needed and not have to worry about it. And we were able to do that, and it was a huge accomplishment. But our business wasn't at the place that it is now. It's very different now. We have systems and processes. I have 2 team members that are helping me, and they are amazing at what they do. So we are a force, I would say. And behind us, we have a VA, a very strong VA that we use a lot, who lives in India. And we also have a developer back-end guy that we love and use, and he's in the Philippines. And so really the 5 of us are driving ahead and producing results for Velocity Work at a very fast rate. And when I say Velocity Work, really that's for our clients. That's the whole reason we exist. And so when I'm saying we produce results at a very fast rate for Velocity Work, that means we are churning out results for clients at a very fast rate. So whether it's things that clients actually see, which are what's designed for them and produced, sort of the end product for them, but there's a lot behind the scenes to produce that end product. And that's the stuff that we're very focused on, dialing in, continuing to improve. And I'm really proud of what we've created. And I'm proud of how focused we are on the value it's providing for clients, or how useful the products that we produce are for clients. So that the more in tune we are with that, the better we can continue to improve it and optimize it so that it's more and more valuable and more useful to clients. So we got a good thing going over here. I wanted to take this opportunity with this episode to share with you, just as I did a year ago, which is crazy, how we work with clients, because it's changed since a year ago. The biggest reason that it changed was COVID. A lot of businesses can say that about their products and about what they offer their clients, but it forced me to get very clear about how I could immediately help as many law firm owners as possible when COVID hit. And so in my mind, I wanted to be of service. I knew how important it was for law firm owners to stay focused. When you raise your gaze and you start to freak out about what's going on, there can be moments of that. We're all human, but then you got to put your head back down and you got to focus and you got to get to work. And that was very difficult for a law firm owner, for any business owner, when COVID was really coming to light. So my journey to be as helpful as possible with that has led to something that changed my business forever. And I want to share with you exactly what the landscape is like now at Velocity Work so that you are very clear about what we can provide, what we do provide, what your options are if you want to engage with Velocity Work. Okay, so let's start with today. What does it look like? How do you engage? Well, there's 2 entry points, so to speak, to be able to work with me and in Velocity Work. The first I'm going to tell you about is called Mastery Group. Mastery Group is an extremely affordable monthly coaching program that helps the law firm owners make sure that they have a great plan and that they honor their plans. So essentially, this makes sure that you're very organized about what in the heck you're going to do, and then you follow through and you do it and you execute as you should. You actually get it completed instead of having your attention pulled a different direction or letting it go for some reason, and just for whatever reason you're not getting it done. There's many reasons that we don't get things done that we say we're going to do, but all of that is dialed in Mastery Group. So the whole idea is that you're going to make sure you have a great plan, and your job is to honor your plan, period. And the coaching that ends up happening is around why you aren't. And it's going to feel like, and a lot of the things that get brought up are what the world is throwing at you is why you don't stick to it. But we'll work through all of it because you are in control of the results that you create. And I help law firm owners get that control back. So that is Mastery Group in a nutshell. It's amazing. It has coaching calls as a part of it. It has a monthly workshop that's a part of it. And actually what we're going to start doing in 2021, just because it makes a ton of sense, is we're going to do quarterly planning. It's like a workshop for quarterly planning the month before the new quarter starts, so that you have a plan, you know what priorities, you know your goals for the quarter, and then your job is to honor the plan that you've made for the quarter. So this is really going to, it has been, and now we're even improving it so that it's going to be a tool that you can use to make sure that you've always got this strategic plan that you're executing on, and that you have accountability for following through on that plan. That is, in a nutshell, what it's all about. Okay, so that's Mastery Group. If you'd like to learn more about Mastery Group, and if you'd like to join Mastery Group, you go to velocitywork.com/join. The second entry point to be able to work with us here at Velocity Work is what's called a Velocity Work Sprint. A sprint is 1 month long, and it is a container for law firm owners to create a result for their firm. Here's how it works. When you enroll to be a participant of a sprint month, we work with you prior to the first day of the sprint month on determining what your one result that you're going to create that month for your firm is. Once you have that nailed down, and we help you think through that in a very clear way, then it's time to show up for the sprint. It always starts with the first Monday of the month, and it goes through the end to the last day of the month, the last work day of the month. There is a tracker that we keep filled out for you, so you don't have to do that work. We will do it for you. And you show up every day, every working day, to an accountability call. When you show up, you are with a small group of other law firm owners. And each of you on the very first day will state, what's the one thing you're going to do in the next 24 hours towards the result that you're creating that month? The next day, you show up on your daily accountability call and you say, did you get that thing done yesterday or not? There's a checkbox. It's a yes or no checkbox. Once we check that off, then we ask, what's the one thing you're going to do in the next 24 hours towards your result? And we write that in the tracker. And then we ask you, what is the lesson learned? Having you planned to do something yesterday, whether you got it done or you didn't get it done, what is the lesson learned for you and how you were operating? That we guide you on, and we help sort of get the best version of what you're trying to articulate out so it's the best lesson possible for you. Because at the end of the month, you're going to have a stack of lessons learned about you and yourself and how you operate and how you need to be thinking about things so that you can take all those lessons and carry them forward. So every day we show up, we fill out this accountability tracker. There's camaraderie, there's support. It's very warm, but it's also no fluff, meaning, did you or did you not get your thing done? That's a yes or no. There's no like, well, I didn't do that. If you have to start talking, that means no, right? So did you or did you not get your thing done? Yes or no? What's the lesson learned? And then of course you'll state what you're going to do to towards your result for the next day. This is a sprint. It sounds so simple, but it's so profound because the participants fly towards their results. It's almost like training yourself, training your brain, how to stay focused and committed to something day after day after day after day. And when you can do this for yourself, it changes the game. I have participants that have gone through it 2, maybe 3 times, and they are operating like a different human. They don't even need a sprint anymore. Sometimes they keep doing them because they think they're fun and they love the energy that it brings. There's a lot of really good energy for you and towards the group. So they love that, but they don't need it anymore. And that is brilliant. To me, I want to create something where you change how you show up and how you operate for the better in whatever ways you want to improve. And then you can carry that forward. That is a sprint in a nutshell. In addition to that, you also get to participate in the coaching calls that I provide, Mastery Group. You also get to participate in the workshop that I provide. So you get the perks of just being inside of Velocity Work while you're in the sprint just for that month. And I will tell you what is crazy, and I'm so delighted by, and I want to continue to study it and make it even better, is that 92% of people who decide to do a sprint join Mastery Group when the sprint is done. That, to me, is something I want to work hard on making sure that number stays really high. And if we can make sure that number stays high, that means we're doing something right, that we are providing value, we are being useful. And I'm not satisfied. So even though we have that great conversion rate, so to speak, I am hungry, and that hunger isn't going to go away, to find out how to serve you best as a law firm owner. Really useful, no fluff, get to work kind of stuff that helps you break through your own barriers, get out of your own way, make solid strategic plans, and follow your plan, honor your plan. It sounds so simple, but this work that we're doing with the 2 entry points that I just stated is the crux. It lays the foundation for you to fly towards whatever you want to create. So those are the 2 entry points into Velocity Work right now: Mastery Group or a Velocity Work sprint. Now, there's a couple of other options beyond that, but you don't get the opportunity to partake in those unless you have done a sprint or you're in Mastery Group. Before I go into those, I want to explain how you can engage with these. I already told you can go join Mastery Group at any time, velocitywork.com/join. A Velocity Work sprint, those are offered strategically throughout the year. They are not every month. They're beautifully intense. And because of that, we have them critically timed to make sense for you and your business. So here's what that looks like. In 2021, we are going to bookend Q1 and Q2 with sprints. So there'll be one offered in January to kick off the year strong. Then we're going to round out Q2 in March with a sprint. April and June will be, there will be a sprint in each of those months. Same idea, to bookend the quarter, start and finish strong. And then we'll take the summer off, and the next one will be September to round out Q3, and then October to really kick off the last quarter of the year. So that's the sprint layout at the moment. You do not need to know all of those months, but I want you to understand that these are strategically timed. And so if you can be really all in with your commitments on the sprint, you know you can bank on making amazing headway towards your goals and on your plan, on your strategic plan. And there's accountability, so you will stay on point with your plans. Now, I can't think of a better way to start the new year than with something like this. You will blow your own mind. No matter when you listen to this episode, you can always go to velocitywork.com/sprint to get information on the upcoming sprint. If you are listening to this in real time and you would like to take part in January, there's some spots left in 2 of the time slots for the daily accountability calls. There's choices on when you have your daily calls. There's a couple spots left in each. So head on over to velocitywork.com/sprint and get yourself enrolled. I cannot wait to work with those of you who are ready to hit the ground running in 2021. Now that I have talked to you about the 2 entry points into Velocity Work, once you're in those, you have a couple of additional options if you want to take things deeper. The first is if you are a Mastery Group member, this is only for Mastery Group members, and you want to have private coaching sessions with me, in your member area, you will see an option to do that. It's a separate investment, but it is an option for you as a Mastery Group member. I do not offer private coaching sessions to people outside of Mastery Groups because there's way too much to bring them up to speed. And when you're in Mastery Group, you get it. You are working on the things that I'm working with everybody on, and we can take that deeper and to a higher level, which is like the opposite, but you know what I mean. So that is available to Mastery Group members. If you have taken part in a sprint, or if you are a Mastery Group member, then you are eligible to work with us as a private client. And what that means is we do a full, firm assessment to make sure we are very clear about exactly where you are right now and in your history, everything leading up to right now. And then the next step is to have a strategic planning retreat just for you and your firm. Most of the clients that engage with us at this level are doing at least $500,000 a year, but more typical is 1 to 2.5 million. That's a very common range that we see with private client work. So that is an option. And once you do the initial strategic planning retreat with us, then you can make the decision, okay, should we continue to work together for the quarters? Do we want to continue to have a quarterly retreat, which is wise, and most great businesses do that, but do you want us to facilitate it? Do you want the accountability in between, et cetera, et cetera? You get to decide your journey with us after that. Okay, so now you have what the Velocity Work offerings are for clients. The reason that I gave you insight into what the offerings are once you either are a Mastery Group member or you've done a sprint is because I know I have a lot of listeners that they just associate me with hosting client retreats. And I do that. And we're very good at that over here, you guys. I mean, like, I really take pride about how we can facilitate and pull things out of an owner's brain and put them into a plan. It's such a fun experience because it's very difficult to do when you're in your own stuff. So I know I'm known for that, and that's really how Velocity Work got started. But there's these other amazing ways that we work with clients. So I wanted to lay it all out there to provide clarity for you as listeners. And the final thing that I'm going to leave you with today that I think will help tie all of this together and help you see who we're built to work with is this idea that the most successful people on this planet are always reaching for the next rung. But they also understand that it's not about the next rung, it's about the stretch. If you are the kind of person who is looking to reach for the next rung, and you also are the kind of person who is open to the idea that it is about the stretch. It is about who you have to become in the going after of your goals, then we are probably a great fit to work with one another. But I will not, and I do not, focus on goals for the sake of hitting goals. I focus on goals because it's going to be fun to see what we're made of, to see what we can create, but keeping the focus on the process of becoming who you need to become in order to have what you want to have. It all comes back down to this. So I hope that provides some clarity in deciding if you would like to engage with me and with Velocity Work. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you here next Tuesday. Hey there. If you enjoyed this podcast, I highly recommend you come and check out Mastery Group. It is where owner attorneys come together to study this material, apply it, and thus create really big results for their firm and for their life. So come on over, velocitywork.com/join to get more information and get started. Show notes from this episode can be found at velocitywork.com/podcast.